Hello. Right, so I have picked up my art exam from college. This is my A-level fine art exam. I did get an A. I think I was a couple marks off an A star. I can't remember how many. So I reckon I was about 5 marks off of getting an A star. I'm not really sure though because I can't find my exam results sheet. It got me quite good UCAS points. And I got a B in graphic designs and communications. I can't remember what mark I got for that. And anyway, that's not the graphics. This isn't the graphics exam. This is a fine art exam. So I got my final pieces. They're pencil drawings. I'm gonna do like proper close-ups soon. But they're pencil drawings with glitter glue, and then these ones, they are fine liner drawings. In this bag, in this heavy bag is all of my books. So 2 years worth of art, basically. And it's a very complicated, messily organised, because in first year I had a way of doing things, and then in second year the way I did things changed, and then when I did the exam I was super duper organised with everything. So it has changed. So I'm gonna take you through my entire course, from start to finish, I guess. So alright, so this is my human figure book. This is one of my favourites. Honestly, the exploratory phase of this course was my favourite, which is really strange. I'm not I really don't know how to explain it. It's just my favourite, okay? It is strange, but whatever. So this is my human figure. This is how I decorated the front page. I really like it. It's 2 different fonts, and then I did some splashes, and then on the spine I did all of the spines apart from obviously the ring bound ones, so that I could just see and grab them off the shelf when I needed them. So this is my first page. These are all of the comments that I got, and then the grades that I got as we were going along. So here you can see we did a lot of marking in October, where we did all of the my teacher went through the books in October-ish, so that was about a month after we started, and gave us all grades. I got A's and B's the whole way through, apart from this one where I didn't finish it on time. So this was part of my bridging work. We also, for our bridging work, we had to do, I actually can't remember what it was exactly, but we had to do some pencil drawings. I can't remember what we actually did it of, but we had to write up an essay of, I can't actually remember. Oh, we had to watch a documentary and take notes on it, and write about each artist, what they discussed, pick out some quotes that we liked. So I wrote that up in here. I quite enjoyed doing that, actually. I love writing essays, which is a little strange. I've been told I'm strange for that, but I don't mind. This was our first ever assignment other than bridging work. It was to draw human heads. So this is what I did for that. These 2 are Pinterest references. That's a Pinterest reference, and these 2 are photos I took. That's my ex-boyfriend. Don't look at that. That's my brother. I quite like these ones. We got told to do annotation all around it, which does stick. I'm very happy that I was able to make that stick, because I quite like doing the annotations. I like also how I blocked out the different sides to make them stand out more. I put the line against this one. This one's quite a dark one. It speaks for itself. Also, you've got the hard and light shadows here. But I like to put in the colour around it to make it pop more, and I'm still one for doing fun titles, so I'm doing that this year in the foundation as well. Right, this is a continuation, because this is us basically learning how to do the human figure and faces and all that. Okay, so I've got eyes up here, then I've got this nose, ear, and then this is my favourite. I wrote it here. This is my favourite portrait on this section, and nose and some lips. Then here I did this. Can you see that? No, you cannot. I'm gonna zoom out, hold on. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Right, so I've got this face. I really liked doing this. To me, the highlights are not bright enough, and also the eyes are way too far apart, but that's okay. I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest. I quite like it still. This I like, and this I like. I wanted to learn how to draw the neck because I realised I made some mistakes down here and down here. So I actually annotated the mistake that I made here, whereas this muscle is apparently, according to these, supposed to go further around behind the jaw, just in front of the ear, rather than right there. So I wrote about that. I think that's where a lot of my marks came from, is because I noticed where I went wrong and I was able to fix it. This is more of the anatomy of the neck because I just wanted to do one more just to solidify it. And here you can see I've learnt here as well and here, so I've now corrected that muscle to put it behind the ear rather than here because I was putting it around here before, and the way that human heads work, that wouldn't have. This is another perspective. I think we just did a lot of, oh actually I remember the assignment, it was like 6 double pages or something like that. No, oh, it was 3 double pages, but I was extra and did that one as well. Okay, so here I've got some noses and the back of the neck and 2 very, very rough sketches. I think here I was getting like agitated by the amount that we had to do, because you can see at the start I started off like doing fully formed, refined sketches and drawings, and then I went into the learning the anatomy because I realised that I went wrong, and then I've just done so many that I kind of like conked out on these 2 especially. This one I quite enjoyed. I just liked building up the basic shapes, same with this one. Now at this point when we were told to draw, I think it was 3 double pages again of, yeah, the human figure. So I may be good at portraiture, but when it comes to people, the roles are reversed. I mean, this was what I started off with because it's the best I could do. I just thought, you know what, let's start with plain, simple boxes. Let's hit some perspective. She's kind of funny, I actually still like her. But I did end up watching a tutorial. Same with this, I used a reference. This, it looks like mentally ill. That's what that looks like. But I slowly start getting a bit of a grip of it. So here I did some arm anatomy. I don't like it because this is not actually very accurate, because I remember I was sat with my friend and we were laughing and joking, so it didn't end up turning out that good, and that was with a reference as well. That's kind of embarrassing, but oh well. This I found off Pinterest as well, and I was like, oh, I like how that's displaying how it would work as a mechanical object, sorry, rather than as human flesh, and I thought that helped me break it down into more than just flesh and blood and muscles, obviously. This, I quite like this. That's a leg. That's also a leg, yes. That's an ankle, yeah, close up with the ankle. This is rib cage, just basic, like not actual proper stuff. I did a correction here in red pen because, oh, sorry, my fingers are dirty because we've been doing stuff with ink today. I don't really like that, but I like this. This I do like, apart from the fingers seem a bit wide, but that's okay. And then this is also some more of the figure drawings. You can see I'm getting a little bit better. This one was easier though because it's from behind, and it's got clothes on, so I could just follow the form of the clothes rather than, sorry if it's getting loud, somebody's just walked in. So I could follow the form of the clothes rather than having to delicately go over the body, I guess. I like this, some action ones, and then this is, I did some artist research, just a few, just like what they've said about it and all that, you know? And then some more of conveying movement, I guess. Oh, this, oh no, that was perfect. They must have done that while they were marking. Okay, so this we did a David Hockney artist copy. I chose this image. I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Jason or something. I never actually wrote it down, that's so annoying, but I did a little colour block of all the colours I used, and I really like the face and all that, but I do think that this eye stands out more than this one because it's got more definition around it than this one, so it looks like it's bigger, but it's not. I measured it and it's not. But one thing I really liked about David Hockney is the fact that he doesn't always finish his sketches. So this because it was an artist copy, this was a finished sketch for him, and I really liked that because I was just going into the first year. I had tons of homework and I was like, oh, this is brilliant, like we don't have to completely finish it, and because I had so much homework to do, it was unreal. Especially because I was also doing geography for some reason. So I really liked the fact that this came as a little bit of a break rather than, I know these seem simple, but for some reason it took me so long to get them done. Oh, I loved doing this. The artist copy that we did, the artist that we copied from, sorry, was called, I think it was Chuck Close. Yeah, Chuck Close. And oh, I love his art so much. I love doing detailed stuff like this. I think you can tell because that was my final piece, like full circle moment. Obviously it's not as detailed as it could be. His skin is so smooth other than this and this. I put in 2 of his acnes, but the original picture, there is obviously a lot more texture on the skin, which I missed out. I think that was, I can't remember why. I think that it's because of the amount of time that I was given. It wasn't that much, but I still really like this piece. I like the hair, which kind of frames it. I like this is my graphic design coming out. I really like this writing up here. I don't like this eye. He looks like a puppy dog. It's too wide. If you look at the original picture, yeah, it's wide, but it doesn't feel like it's that wide. I feel like I made it too cartoonish, I guess, and his eyelashes are not long enough. If you can see here, I don't know if you can, but the eyelashes come past the eyelid crease, and here they do not, which pisses me off. This is Kath Kolowitz, or Katie Kolowitz, I'm not actually sure. So this was an artist copy. This was also an artist copy. Can you see that on there? Not really. I don't like it anyway, so I'm not bothered if nobody sees it. There we go. This was my piece that I did based off of Kath Kolowitz, and there's just writing about it. I quite like it, other than the hand. The hand looks a bit distorted and a bit spaghetti-like, but other than that, I like how it's fractured, you know? And then that is the writing that I did on her, because one thing that you have to do in art is write, and a lot of people sign up to it not realising the amount that you have to actually write. But A-level fine art, you will not get a good grade if you cannot write about your work. That is just how it is. I know a guy that got a D because he was an incredible painter, did not write about his work. I don't think he had 1 ounce of writing other than some titles in there, and he didn't pass. Well, he passed, but he didn't. He capped himself at a low grade. So if you are going to take fine art, please note, please note that you will have to write. There is no way that you're going to be able to get a good grade without writing. Foil scratching. I enjoyed this. It was irritating, but I enjoyed the outcome, and that's why I enjoyed it. I used the same reference photo as I did for the Chuck Close, and I really enjoyed that. I spent hours and hours and hours doing this at home, relentless, and because you're scratching in the highlights, I forgot that here, and I started doing the eyebrows. I started blocking them in, and I was like, oh no, so I had to fix that. Yeah, I quite like it. I like the texture that it creates. It's kind of scratchy. And then this is just some annotation that I did. Chiaroscuro, we were doing some chiaroscuro work, which is very much used in Caravaggio. This is the reference picture that I made. We went into the studio to take some specialised pictures for it, to get some light, because there's some, they have studio lights and they're so bright that you can see my eyes look like glass. It's crazy. I was blinded that day. And that is what I created from it. I quite like it. I just wanted to block in the colours just to give it like I did the 3-tone rule. So I did obviously white, medium, and then dark. But I think that worked really, really well. So this one, because I wanted it to be absolutely perfect, I didn't want to waste time drawing it out first. So you can see here that I used carbon paper. There's like bumps in it. I used carbon paper to trace it onto my book and then do all the shading into it. I think that worked quite well. This is Tai Shan Greenberg So this, I could not for the life of me get a grasp of how to do this properly. I'd never worked in oil paints before. This was the first time I worked in oil paints, and I didn't really enjoy it because I didn't know what I was doing, even though I like acrylic paints, but it was not the same. So I did a pencil sketch first as I could get a feel for the light in the dark, and I really liked the pencil sketch, apart from it does look a bit blocky, but that's what it's supposed to look like. And then this is the final piece that I did of it. That's stuck to it for some reason, and I don't like it one bit. Hold on, one sec. There we go. But I really hate it. It does not look good at all. Oh no, actually I really hate it. So that's why that was stuck there, because it adds more texture to it. So that's why I stuck that on there. I printed the sketch that I did out on acetate so that it could kind of cover it up, because it's not very good. And then here's the writing I did about it. More writing, and then the colour palette that I used. Every time I did a colour, I swatched it. And then that's just because that wasn't completely dry, which it is now, but it is oil paint, so I'm just gonna do that again. I also added this on the back. It's like plasticky so that it wouldn't go through. Anthony Gormley. I love this man's work. He's brilliant. He does a lot of sculptures, but I liked his ink drawings, and they were the ones that they were the ones that we were studying. And this one we did in our own style, and then we got introduced to the Anthony Gormley. They are not proper replicas of what his work is. His work is incredible. You can tell that this is my first time working with ink, to the point where it's embarrassing. I mean, what is this? I mean, I made a face there. It's like God, which is kind of cool. This was quite fun because I was just using it like watercolor, but this was like, because it's so stylized, I just cannot do it. And it kind of looks like Slenderman taking away a child, which is not really great. I think I would have definitely been happier if we tried out his sculpture, mainly because throughout this whole fine art experience I didn't do sculpture once. I've only done that now that I've gone into the foundation, so make sure you look at your modules before you sign up for something. This was some photography that we did, exploring flesh tones. My pictures came out so bright and overexposed and kind of washed out, and I think that's because of the printer that I was using at the time. It was so shit. I mean, it was really bad. Just like a little paragraph down there. I didn't really do much about that. I made my grandmother look dead. I really liked this picture of her. I thought she looked so elegant, so I thought, you know what, which one was it? That one. It was this one. I thought she looked so elegant on it. I'm gonna draw that. I'm gonna paint that even. And don't like it. I put her on this blue background because of the colours here, and I was like, oh, complementary colours and all that. And then my brother came in when I stuck it all down and finished everything. He went, "You've made Nanan look dead. It doesn't look like she's having a nice time." And then there's this one. You can tell that my skill depreciated. Like, I'm sorry, but why is that like good? What is that? It looks wrong, incorrect. It looks like this side of, oh, I just scratched some of the paint off. It's fine. It looks like this side of my face is drooped, which is not healthy. This is an oil. I did this in oils, yeah. This one I also hated. I think I just kind of like started giving up at the end of the book. Not on purpose. It's just everything that I'm doing, it felt like it was just bad, you know? Oh. So, I don't know, I really hated this one as well. Like, I kind of want to redo it, but I don't have the time to do that right now. I got some writing here. I don't know why I got some writing here. Oh, and these were just fillers to fill in the book because my teacher was like, I can't have you handing in unfinished books. So I was like, okay, how do I finish this book? And he went, maybe just do some like random experiments in mediums of your choice. And I was like, okay. So this is actually a reference picture that I used earlier in the book as well. Where is she? Here. So I used this reference picture twice. And I did her in pen on cardboard as well. And I really liked how that showed the skin textures. So this reference picture, it's not actually of an actual person. It's a clay remake of somebody who died thousands of years ago, and the artist is brilliant. I thought it was an actual picture. This, oh, I did this in oil pastel at first, and it didn't work. So I just wrote that it was to put down the base colours, and then I put oil paint over it because I am better with paint than I am pastel apparently, even though I'm not very good with paint. But I had to fix her eye because it was like right down here, and it was just not a good look for her. But she looks not as bad now. I don't like her still. This is some more pictures and some more drawings. I don't like him. He's alright. Don't know. I don't even know. Don't even ask. These are some pictures that I did. I kind of wish I did a waterfall card here, but I didn't know how to make them, so that's my excuse. And then just some more chiaroscuro photographs and references that I've used throughout the book. I didn't write about these because they're just references that I used throughout the book. Here's some more. I really like that one, I don't know why. Some more, I think that's the last one. Oh yeah, that is the final page. So that is the human figure sketchbook. I really enjoyed doing this one. Okay, so this is the Space, Place and Environment book. This is my favourite book in the entire collection that I've made. This is the cover and then the spine, and then the back has nothing on it. First page. First page, this is some markings that we got. So he wrote down my strengths and then areas for development, curriculum, and oh, I got a B in this book. Huh, strange. Anyway, I got an A and B the whole way through, and then an A here. And then this was just my pocket to put the materials that I used, like the viewfinder, and then this carbon paper. Then we started off strong with some sunflowers. Sunflowers are my least favourite flowers to draw because of just how many petals they have and how detailed they are. Like, I like drawing detailed things, but I don't know why this just annoyed me. I like this one. This one's really good. This one I hate. This one's not as bad, and this one's definitely more abstract. I quite like it though. This was roller printing. I really enjoyed roller printing. I like all of the leaves that we got as a product as well. And then obviously the outcomes. This is my writing about it. And then I just got more writing about each one here. This is one where we drew into it, which I really enjoyed. This one I liked, layered. Some more. And perspective. I walked into the classroom this day and looked at the board, saw perspective and went, I don't want to be here anymore. Perspective is my least favourite thing ever to draw. It just takes forever. I don't know how to do it, and I think that shows. So this I just took random. I try to do as little actual perspective as I possibly could, which you can tell. Like this, the only perspective is the road, and then obviously distant object. This one is the most perspective-y one, and then this one here as well, because you've got foreground, background, and then obviously perspective here, shading. But you know, I kind of like this page. It's just, it felt very low effort. I didn't put much effort into it, and I don't like the fact that I did that. I wish that I did more. Watercolour, really enjoy watercolour. Watercolour is like one of my favourites. Here we went on a tour through Google Maps. It was like a school trip, or in school. So we just picked a random place that we wanted to go. A lot of them were in London, surprise, surprise. We went to Paris for one of them, I think, as well. And we just did watercolour studies, landscapes. Oh, these ones are of London. And then these ones, I don't know. Oh, that one's of London as well. My teacher said, great double page, lots of energy, and more. I don't know what that says. I really like this one, even though this bit's really messy and the tree's not very good. I like the big bold writing. I like this one as well, other than the van. The van's a bit messed up, but it's whatever. This one, it started to tear at the page because I wanted such a concentrated red. It just was not happening. And this just wasn't happening either. The black was not black enough to do the black sky. I didn't like this page too much. I still don't. Some more watercolours. This one we went on our own tour and we went where we wanted to go. I went down to my home village in Suffolk and did an old place where I used to live, the Lidl. That's somebody's house that lived nearby me at the time. And for some reason I went to Mumbai, India and wanted to do a landscape and then never finished it. Then we got this collage. I actually quite like collage. I forgot to do a title bit, so I just put it on that side and then did some facts about it there. I tried to do a symmetry situation, but still make it different on each side. So the actual composition is symmetrical, but the colours of it are different. So I've got some different colours on this side, and then this one's inverted. This one's also, oh, actually, all of this is inverted, actually. Apart from this. So that's the title page for it. And then Charcoal Sea. I really enjoyed doing the Charcoal Sea. I like that fish. But this is so energetic. I loved it so much. This is also another Charcoal Sea that I did. I didn't like this one as much. It's not as energetic. And it looks kind of spooky. But definitely like that one more. But it's still nice. It's not bad, I guess. And then there's one more. This one I liked a lot more. I used the texture of the desk to create the highlights and shadows, and then I just like went over it with the charcoal on its side, kind of like a rubbing like you would with a crayon, I guess. After I did that, I just went in, defined some of the darks, and then took a rubber and erased some of it as well to create a light. I did like a black stormy sea sky for the background with a bit of sun poking through. And I really liked how that one came out. I like the composition as well. It's not just flat, it's across, and I really liked that about this one. Acrylic sea paintings. For this one I really wanted to make the actual title page like its own painting in a way. So it's made out of, it's not actually made out of paint. Not all of it anyway. This one, I really like this one. I think it's so stylistic. I wish that I could do more of it, but I really like this one. So I've used watery layers of acrylic paint and then built up on top of that, and I really like how it turned out. And then I used an acrylic paint pen to do the highlights. It is not my favourite one, it's actually my least favourite one ever. I like the idea of the landscape and the clouds, so I like this part. I don't like, what the fuck is that? I hate that. This is quite cool. I like the texture that I created here. That's not the correct sand colour. This one's my favourite. It's also his favourite. He put, wow, my favourite beautiful work, Chloe. Stunning colour, use of texture. So this is actually the first one that I did. I just stuck it in afterwards because I wanted it to be like, oh, that's disappointing, and then like, wow, I like that one. Experimenting with cardboard and textures. I didn't really enjoy this. I did a load of grass on here and that was a painstaking thing to do. I'm going to show you this one up close actually. Embroidery. This made me want to clock off from life. He thinks it was really nice, but it made me want to cry. And then I did a watercolour landscape. I'm not really sure why I did this. I think I wanted to redeem myself from the acrylic paintings. Brusho. I dislike Brusho. I wasn't here the day that we did this, so I had to like make up my own experiment. Yeah. And then I did like a really quick shitty landscape. Oil painting using online references. That's really annoying to read. But this, I quite like this. This is oil painting, but a good one. I like the colours in it. I like how the sunset sky is purple. I like the texture in all the bushes. I like the boat. He looks lonely. I like how that's like the main part of it. I really like the reflections on the water with the grass. Here, oh, I did a natural form photo shoot. So this is all just pictures I took. Some of them were taken a long time ago, but I wanted to put them in here because I really liked them. Like this one. This one I took down on a trip with my mother. That's from an old holiday. These are ones that I actually took for the thing. This is from holiday, that's from holiday. A lot of these are actually from holiday, but I just thought that they'd work really well in this book. And then they didn't all fit in, so I had to add an extra page. And then that is a summary of everything that we've done. Oh, that's where some of the writing went because I forgot to put it in earlier, so I put this and this in. And then that's about the photo shoot. So that is the Space, Place and Environment book. I really like this one. Again, it is my favourite. Okay, hello, it's the next day. I've picked up my book 1 to my coursework. I forgot it, so I had to go back for it today. So this is book 1 to the book 2 that I'm showing next. So I did this project on romanticism and my personal project. Romanticism was a bit of a gateway into my personal project. Right, so this is my romanticism essay that I did. Okay, so this is all of my writing. So throughout this book we had to do a lot of contextual stuff as well, and this is just all of it together. This is also contextual stuff. It's just this was on the Google Classroom, so my teacher printed it off so that they could mark it separately. So I'll just pop that over there. So this is the title page, I guess, romanticism. Just getting into it. One second, I'm just gonna put my glasses on because I can't actually see anything. There we go. Right, so I've got a load of different paintings from different romanticism painters, and just a short description of what romanticism actually is. I did also code this book, so you can see on the front cover here I have this flower for romanticism and then this flower for my personal project. So here you can see the romanticism flower marking which part it is. So we did I think it was 3,000 or 2,500 word essay on defining romanticism basically, and an essay about the whole movement. Then I did artist research, Caspar David Friedrich, a copy, so an artist copy, I chose Monk by the Sea, and then I also did Cross Beside the Baltic copy. So I did 2 copies, and then I also did, wherever it's gone, okay, so these are just the explanations for this, and an In the Style of, so I did a landscape because he's known for his landscapes and his bold colours and the meaning behind it. So I did my favourite place to go on holiday. It's very relaxing to me, almost religious for me. And I used the bold red and obviously the bold white. Did my explanation about it. William Blake was my next artist. Here's my explanation about the copies, links that I used, my copy. I think this is the only copy I did for this one though. Never mind, I did 2 copies. Right, this is called Landscape at Sunset. I really liked this one other than the sky. I like the land and the composition more. This one was my favourite one that he's ever done. It was a wedding gift and we're not actually sure when about it was painted. We're not actually sure, like, it's not a very famous piece of his. It's called The Summer Cloud, or A Summer Cloud even. But I just really like the composition of it. I love painting clouds, so this was really fun for me to do. And my In the Style of was this one. I did a very drastic looking piece of it's the golf course outside the back of my house, and I just did my brother walking in the distance here. Responding to romanticism, so this is like my response to the entire movement, I guess. So this is how I took the picture. This is my photograph of the picture, so the picture that I was going to draw from, and then I enlarged the tree and the sheep and did this watercolour slash pencil drawing. I'm not too happy with it, but it's also not the worst. These sheep are my favourite. They are quite cute, but like the sky is not very good, and I don't like the middle portion of the tree. I do like the mountains in the back though. The mountains in the back are my favourite. Also this tree, oh, right over there, I can't reach it with holding the book. This one with the book, with the house, I like that as well. And the realisticness of the muddy river rather than it being blue. So this is my responding to romanticism response. A lot of responding going on. I also kept this book very cohesive with the different cutouts, so the pictures didn't have a backing and then the writing did. And I'm still carrying on my colour code here, my flower code even. I did a photo shoot responding to romanticism as well. This is a couple of pages long. I went to the Lake District to get these pictures. It was a college trip that I went for with geography, but I ended up taking my big camera and going with intention to take lots of pictures. This is the photo shoot. I'll leave it for a couple of seconds just so that you can see. last page. This is on the way back. We were on the coach, so we had the Tesla pumps there. I just thought they looked pretty like new worldy, futuristic. And then I did my response to that. The response to this is much shorter than it is in my other books, but I'm not too bothered about that either. This is my project plan and photo shoot plan. So this is where I changed from the Romanticism project to my personal project, as you can see by the flower change. So I did a photo shoot to like kickstart the entire project, I guess. So this is where the lorries come in, because I knew that I wanted to do vehicles. I think that it linked to the Romanticism project. What did I say here? Yes, I want to take the ideas of Romanticism but combine them with different, slightly more messy art styles and not just realism. So I wanted to take the idea of Romanticism but not so much the style, I guess. And here's just the other pages of the photo shoot. I did a couple of experimenting with light on this as well. This is one of my favourite pictures, same with this one. This one's also, this is mainly just experimenting with light and shutter speed. And then this is another photo shoot, but it's kind of like the same because it's the same kind of photo shoot, it's just a different day. And top tip, if you're doing photo shoots in your art book, number each of them so that if you do a painting you can reference which ones you've used, and then the examiner isn't like frantically looking through your book trying to find which ones you've used. And here we were told to print off our best ones, so that's what I did. I also edited these. That's very obvious here because I was trying to get rid of the road, and I don't know how I did that, but the line ended up here. I don't really know how, but it happened. These are some more of my favorites. This one and this one are my two absolute favorites. Oh, I lied, and that one. This one's really crisp and clean, but I don't like the fact that you can't see the whole lorry. It was easier to draw though. It's my photo shoot response. And this is where I started doing my experiments and designs. So my first experiment was coloured markers and fine liners. So I used these pens. They're called Aqua markers. They were from Tesco, I think, or Aldi, I can't remember, but they're actually really good. I liked using them. And then I just put the fine liner over the top and used a white paint pen to go over and do all the highlights. So that, I've referenced the picture here, 26 I think it was, yeah, this one. And then this one referenced the picture here, and I'm pretty sure that was, this one's 75, yeah. This one, I don't know, I really liked the front of it, and then I did this bit, and then I forgot about this, and I went back into it like about a week later and realised, and then I thought I don't really have time to do that right now, so I just did like a cool abstract thing on the side. This is my first artist research, Donish, I think, Donish, I'm not sure. I really liked her art style and how she combined sceneries with faces, but I wanted to do a similar thing with trucks. It didn't work. I'm not very good at being abstract, but in this book it's like the first time I really experimented with not being such a perfectionist, I guess. This did not work. This is just some random sketches that I did of the logos because I was really lost at what to do for my experiments, but this, I don't like it. I mean, I like it, it's good, but it's not good. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is my inspiration for the project, Tyler Joseph. I really liked that, and that helped me find my title for my project, and I called it Finding Purpose Through Family Link. And then I did the album cover here. I don't really like this. It's not the album cover, this is just on the album cover, this isn't. I feel as though I could have done this a lot better. Now that I've been through the 2 years of graphics, that's not it, but yeah, I still quite like it. Okay, so then I got my title page, Finding Purpose Through Family Links, from the perspective of the 4th generation. This is 4th generation because there's been 3 more generations in front of me that have all been truck drivers, and I still quite like that idea, even though I am going into graphic design or fine art. Still haven't made up my mind, shut up. I am still the 4th generation of lorry drivers. So the first one that I did, I kind of wanted to bring in the aspect of travel, not staying in one place, kind of nomadic. So I did an artist copy, not an artist copy, I did an artist in style of Pat Perry, and I used his Pat Perry sketchbook, and I really liked how fluent it was, how messy it was, how real it was. So I did this basically. I did a couple of pages of it, so I'm going to show you the pages actually. So I split the pages in 2 because he uses an A5 sketchbook, and obviously this is A4 that I was working in, so I just wanted to make it more realistic to the actual thing. So I have this truck here. It's an armoured camper. I was on a job with my mother and I really enjoyed it. I took a picture of it and then I drew it in here later on. I like the abstractness of the trucks in the background and the street lights and the stars. I just like it. I like how I like how it's kind of framed. This is one of the photos that I took. This is inspired by Pat Perry, not just because it's in the sketchbook, but also because I did his bright underpaintings, which kind of, they give the painting more life, I would say, rather than just painting straight onto white. You did the orange square or the bright red square or the neon pink square or rectangle like I did and paint over that, and I think that that is really nice because you can leave gaps and it kind of shines through the paint as well. It creates a bit more of dimension. On the next page, this is the next page. Hold on, I'm gonna get my stand out for this page because this book is really thick. Okay, so on this page I did a bit of annotation like he does in his sketchbooks. I used some stamps. I did a little painting that I then stuck in. This is a stagecoach bus. What I did for that is it's really simple because I was sat on the street corner with my friend and we were just like drawing things that were passing by. She was doing people and I was doing vehicles, so her people, they were going slower so she could do more, and I only did the bus because it was stuck there waiting for people to get on, and that's all I got of it. It's not bad, but it's really simplistic and I don't like doing simplistic things as much. This is another painting that I did with the underpainting, this orange of the truck, and the truck's not actually supposed to be orange, it's supposed to be green, but I liked to change it back to that because of the underpainting that was there, and you can also see the sketch in it, and I thought that was really cool. So he does a couple of double pages as well. I try to give the imaginative thing that you see in his books, but I didn't communicate that properly. I don't really like this one. I mean, the perspective's okay, but the trailer looks flat. That is not what the base of a sleeper cab looks like. Sorry. So this is the last page of the sketchbook style of. I just did a few like lorries and then the background and then a lorry and then this is the corner of a lorry. And then this is the explanation of the actual sketchbook copy that I did, not copy, in style of. On this next page I just have a load of like quick sketches because I wanted to embrace the quickness of it, because I found with doing this one that doing a properly detailed drawing of an actual truck it doesn't communicate how you would see them in real life. Usually you see them on the road driving and they're going quite fast. So I wanted to do them in a more simplistic and sketchy style. So I did a load of sketches. I did some of Google Classrooms and then I did some live drawings. So a lot of these are live drawings down here. I think that one's a live drawing. I think that one's off Google Classroom, not Google Classrooms, Google Maps. I think that just because it's so detailed. Oh, these ones I've actually labelled, which is helpful. This one's off Google Maps, live drawing, live drawing, live drawing. And these smaller ones were live drawings. This one I did a bit more detailed, but I still liked it because it was really quick. I think it must have took me about 20 minutes. It's off Google Maps, so yeah, this one in live drawings. And oh, printing press. Oh, I decided to do this because of how rustic it looks with the ink. which I really liked. You can see that my writing here is just not adequate. Like, I'm sorry, what the heck is that? But I have referenced the picture that I used. And then this is the acetate that you, acrylic, sorry, not acetate, that you scratch into with a sharp point. And I did it with a safety pin. And then you fill that with ink and put it through a roller press. I think that's called what it's called. Oh, it's called a printing press. Obviously, it says it right there. So you roll it through that onto this special paper. I think it's like Japanese woven or something. But you wet it and then the ink will stick to the paper rather than this. Well, it stuck to that as well, but like some of it transferred onto the paper and then you get your press. One mistake that I made with this was I wrote the writing the right way round. So when you put it upside down to print it, it flipped. But I overall really like that because it looks rusty like a used lorry would. This is landscapes and other observations because I wanted to dive a bit more deeper into the traditional romanticism movement, like with the large drastic landscapes that you would see. So I took a couple of panoramas, panos, I don't really know what they're called, but you know. And this was taken all in St Ives and Bristol when I went down there with college. So there's a couple pages of this. I did also get some lorries because I can't help myself. Oh, these are nighttime ones. So this is on the motorway, the M180. Yeah, more photographs. These are of lorries again because I decided that I wanted to go back to lorries and not just landscapes. So here, I can't quite remember what this is about. Oh, that is my photo shoot response. They are pixelated on this actual thing here. They're not very good, so I created a website with the digital versions on so the examiner could see that. This is when we were down in St Ives. We were given a concertina sketchbook. This is where I got the idea for my exam part. We were given a concertina sketchbook where we had to fill up throughout the whole trip. So I'm just going to show you what I did for that. So this is the first one that I did. It's the Eden Project. Then I did this. It's a lot more abstract. This is a painting that I saw in the Tate. Some of my friends that were just walking, talking, or sat there. Some stars. That was Lady that I saw. I thought she was dressed in like a proper old lady outfit and I really liked it. This is the sky. It was not the actual sky. I just wanted to draw a sky and do some clouds, so I did that and then put that over there or else it would stick together. This is a watercolour night sky. I don't like this as much, but I tried to get the illusion that the sun was still slightly setting and the clouds were still a bit red, but I don't really think that that worked. And then the other side, we've got some more watercolours because I just got, let me find the palette. I just got this palette, which is a Winsor & Newton 12 colour. Yeah, 12 colour. It came with the brush as well, but it's in my brush pot over here. And I've also squeegeed in some new paints in here because I was running low. No, it doesn't have a black, that's why. Yeah, it doesn't have a black, so I squeegeed in the black. I did some watercolour paintings for that with the little brush and my bottle of water that I brought with me. Then I did a pen sketch one. I don't really like that one, but it's fine, I'm not bothered because the other ones I do like. And then this one's a pencil drawing with some pencil crayon in it, which I quite like, it's not bad. And then this is of actual St Ives, so this is a cliff edge that we came across, one of the lighthouses, and then I did an aerial view. I did get that picture offline. Let's go this way first. I did more skies and landscapes. These are both acrylic paintings. I quite like them. This one's a lot more subtle. I quite like that. This one's not subtle, but it's still cute. I like it. And then these two. That's Pro Marker, not Pro Marker. These markers again, aqua markers. This one and this one watercolor. And then I did watercolor scenes. So I've got like two beachy ones, one sunset, a wave. That's actually like off Pinterest. I found that picture and I thought that was really cool. So this was when we were back at the hostel that we were staying in, and I just did some watercolors. And on the other side we've got these two. This is of a cliff. I did that at the cliff edge. It was really nice. I've got sheep and a sign. I thought they were funny. And then I did this one out of aqua markers, but I spilt something on it and it's like expanded. I still quite like it. It's not bad, it's just not great either. And then this is a map of St. Ives, which I really liked. I enjoyed doing it as well, so. And then my last concertina was dedicated to, I think it was all lorries. Yeah, it was mainly just all lorries and more family heritage, because I had one last concertina page left and I was like, I want to do something with that that's more related to my project than these, because this was more about the trip that we went on. So for this one I used some of the pictures that I took on the trip, plus also live ones. This one's a live one. I think that one's a live one, which is why he's just a box. This one is of a picture. And this way I have 2 pencil and pen drawings. So this is pencil, and then I did like the bold bits with pen. That's my mum, because she's a lorry driver, well, was before she don't do lorry driving anymore because she said, I'm getting too old for this. She's only 60, bless her. Some more watercolor ones, and then that's just 2 sketches. And then this is off this is from the Lake District trip, actually, not, it's in Cumbria, not the St. Ives trip. So that's a picture off the wrong trip, but oh well. And then a yellow and a green lorry, and then a shitty red up there. Then I got some more. I got a Chevrolet and a Renault here. I think that's a DAF or a Volvo, I can't remember. And just some more. Oh, don't scan that. Do not scan that. I'm gonna cover that up. These are just from the tops of lorries. I just thought it was quite funny, like them peeking over the side. And then this is an acrylic painting that I did, which I actually really like. I'm gonna give this more glory. There we go. I really like this one. I like MANs. MANs are one of my favourites. There's Volvos, then it's Scania, then it's Mercedes, then it's MAN. I know they're quite low, but like, oh well. And then this is just like the analysis that I did of it. Then I've just got all of my favourite pictures, and then some from St. Ives, and then those, and then this is a load of analysis that I did. And then it's on to book 2. Okay, so these ones are from when we moved on to the personal investigation. This is a very, very skinny book because, well, I ripped a load of pages out because I moved into this book. And then this one is my final piece. Wait, that's true. Where the fuck is book 1? I did have another book. No, I did. Oh, must have forgotten it. I'll have to get it tomorrow and then add it on the video. So this is the second book to book 2 then. Oh, that's so annoying. That's throwing off the whole video now. Oh well, I'll have to get it tomorrow. So this is book 2. So this is, yeah, you can tell that it's a continuation because these are proper printouts of the last photo shoot that I did. You can tell because I've labelled them. So irritating. There's some edits that I did, writing about them, some quick drawings. So the idea of this was to, oh, I can't actually remember the idea of it, but it was, I linked it to family and tradition. So I've got a lot of lorries there. There's a lot of lorry drivers in my family. I did some road landscapes, road signs, night sky to symbolise the late night. Oh, this is some lorry drawings that I did. I think this one was about to be really good and then I just stopped for some reason. Don't really know why. I don't like this one, but I like this one. I wish this one was the bigger one because this one's, this is not atomically correct for a lorry, but that, I like that. There's a lot of writing. I wanted to describe why and how I did those. The colours that I used, and then how I used them, I guess. And then I did each one for each medium that I used because they were new mediums and I was still getting used to them. Oh Oh, I went to a truck stop once and just drew the people that were there. That's a very, very oldie worldy truck that I did. It's not very good. It's just a quick one, but I just wanted to show the suspension. Acrylic on calico. I really enjoyed this one. This one is my bae. I loved it so much. And I really like this. It looks like neon. I like this one. This one. I debate whether I like this one or not. I like the sky more than I like the main thing. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad painting, I guess. Here I did some more sketches because I wanted to do a big piece. So I did some sketches ready for the big piece. And this was a terrible day. I think it kind of speaks for itself. If you want to pause the video and look, you can. So I did this drawing of my grandmother. Seeing as it was, my project was based around family and my family tree, this was a major link, I guess. It was a very, very sad time, but it was also a major link, so I really wanted to give my grandmother a shrine, I guess, in my book. I've got some pictures of her here, in loving memory, and then my favourite picture of her there. And then I drew that picture as a portrait on Procreate in a very scratchy style. She really liked art. She just wasn't very good at it, but she liked it, so. And then I found this poem. It was her favourite poem. It's called Leisure. What is this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. And I think that's really been implemented in my life since she went. Lovely, lovely lady. And then we moved on from, because we did these sketches ready for this big piece. So we did the large acrylic painting. This was the reference picture that I used. And then this is what I put on the projector to blow it up on the, because I used acetate to put it on the projector, and then it blew it up onto the piece of paper. And this is the progress. I never actually finished this. It made me feel insecure how large it was. I like painting. If it was a big watercolor painting, I would have gotten it done quicker and I had some big brushes or something, but this, it made me want to rip out my hair how large it was. This is it compared to the floor space in my room. Like, I'm sorry, but that's ginormous. It covers the whole of my floor. It was like 6 foot tall, I think. And this is what I wrote, just to like say, I've decided from here I will move into a concertina book where I practice style, layout and displays. But yeah, I moved on to this because I wanted it to be like a map, I suppose, of my family rather than just like a piece. So this is what I wrote about it, like why, I guess. And this is the beginning of it. It's very, very long, my goodness. Right. So this is the first part. I basically did lorries through the generations and I put like Google Maps around the edge of it. I really like this one, the big one, just in the middle. Really like that. And then here, I like the Scania drawing. Daff even. Where the hell did I get Scania from? This has ended up being incomplete because it was very detailed for the time that I had left to plan, because my exam was coming up. I had time to plan, but not enough. So then this is the explanation for the drawings on this page. So this was just a layout plan. So here we've got total oil, pendant, my granddad's old lorry, where they used to live, poem, my brother's childhood teddy, our caravan that we lived in for a part of time, coffee beans to symbolise my grandmother's necklace, flowers, that was of her funeral bouquet, Ireland because that's where my dad died, Holy Bible because of my dad's side being Catholic and also me, Noli Secundus was my mum's old company name, What was this? I can't remember. Oh, that's the campsite that we lived on once, and that was us in our eldest. That was a different caravan that we lived in, by the way. We lived in quite a few. And this is my mum's old lorry. It didn't say Julie Pinder up there. I just wanted to put that up there because that's her name. And then that's the writing I did about that particular idea that I had. And then there's another one. This is the plan for the layout of the final piece. I think that was all of it. Oh no, there's another one. Okay. So this is just literally just the writing of the plan. So it's not very interesting, but it's just where everything was gonna go. It didn't end up going like that. I changed it completely. And then here I started putting sketches in of where they were gonna go. I'm not a massive fan of it, but whatever, it's fine. It's just, I just did some swatches at the end. He looks so silly, I don't even know who this is. Anyway, so this is my final piece for my coursework. It's really long, so I'm gonna have to move the camera. So let me just do that quick. I'm just gonna put that on a separate video. Okay, so this is how it was supposed to be displayed. So it was a concertina sketchbook. So it was supposed to be displayed like this on a shelf. I'm not sure if it actually happened or not because I wasn't there when it was getting marked. So it's basically from start to finish is a storyline. Sorry, that's another drink. I have like 3 drinks on the go. Move that out of the way. There we go. So first we have Richard Shipp. He was my granddad on my dad's side. Catholic, so he's got the cross in his lorry. This is a more modern lorry, so it's not actually that accurate, but shut up. This is my mum's old van. Mam is what she calls her mum, and I occasionally call her that too, so I put that on her number plate. Down here, the words that you'll see just randomly plotted about, that is the poem from Leisure that I put on my grandmother's memorial page, and it's just all throughout the whole piece, showing how that affected me and my life to where I am today. And then we've got this lorry here for my granddad. He was in an army, so I did him an army lorry. This is symbolising all the different lorries that we do. I put a Renault on there because we all think they're shit and we all make fun of them, so I made it the least interesting lorry I could. That's why it's just a plain blue. This side we've got Tia Maria because my grandmother loved having that in coffee, and I actually have her coffee beans and I have inherited those. But yeah, so, and like she was a big coffee gal and she liked Tia Maria and her coffee, so that's why that's there. Total Oil because that's where my granddad used to work. That's the back end of the Renault. This is my mum's dream lorry, the Mercedes. It's not the right colour though, it should have been red, but I forgot. This is the pendant that my mum wears around her neck. I got a picture of it close up and then drew it. This is a heart because that's how my grandmother died. I know this is very morbid and very personal, but it's true and that's what I wanted it to be. This is because my mum worked at this company, Maritime. I'm gonna see if that's get copyrighted. If it gets copyrighted, that's so sad. Some more of the poem. This is also where my mum worked. It's also my favourite transport brand just because it's pink. That's literally it, just because it's pink. And then some more coffee beans. This is the van that my mum and dad used to drive around for their business called Nolly Secundus. It's not completely accurate, but it's what I've got at the moment. I took off one of the tyres and didn't completely finish the van because their business fell in when my dad left. So I wanted to symbolise that through this. This is my mum's lorry that she had at the time when they were using this name, the Nolly Secundus name. And these are just 3 of the caravans that we've lived in. We have lived in more, but these are just 3 of my favourites. And also my favourite times that we had in them. This is our favourite holiday destination, Trevornick Park. I love it so much. And this in the background is Gull Rocks and then the sunset. I like how this is just watercoloured onto the page, but I like how I've put it in front so it looks like a sticker. Poplar Park Equestrian Centre is where we used to live. We used to live on like a little triangular patch in the caravan with the awning on the side when we were kids because we couldn't afford anywhere else. This is a crane from Felixstowe, which is where my mum used to live, and it's where she met my dad. And I thought that was a very pivotal part in my life because obviously I wouldn't be here if them two hadn't met. This is my brother's childhood toy. We call him Doggy Dog. We're so creative. And he is the light of our life, and he was gifted to her, gifted to my brother by my grandmother. So I gave the dog, a little bit coming down from heaven for her. And then A Poor Life. This is full of care. We have no time to stand and stare at the end, with the Holy Bible symbolising faith and heaven and everlasting paradise. It's difficult. Sorry, I just want to put it all front again to give you like a look without me explaining it. Okay, so that's the whole thing, and then it all just shrinks into one book here. And that is my coursework exam. So that was my practice exam, not my real exam. My real exam I'm gonna do in just a sec. Hi, I'm on my exam one now, and I've just changed the format of filming because this way is just like low-key easier. So okay, so this is my exam book. By the way, top tip guys, write on the back of your books, this is one off now, but write on the back of your books, if found, please return to you, member of staff, or like the department office or the reception. I lost one of my books and they returned it to the reception luckily. But yes, if you ever lose it, then people know where to return it to, so do that. I also, on my latest books, I've been putting the address to my college on there as well, just in case I lose it outside of college, because I've been going on a lot of excursions. So this is my exam book. So basically the layout of the course was, we did exploratory, coursework, FMP, final major project, which is very, very similar, in fact almost exactly the same as what we're doing for the Art Foundation. So this is the FMP, final major project, and let's break it away. So there was a series of briefs to choose from. I chose the one of close-up, and the first page is basically just a mind map of everything that I could think of, which is not very big. It was like looking at somebody else's books, because I went to go collect my book with another girl called Millie. Her mind map, I think it was like a double page mind map, and it was packed. It was so full. So when I saw mine, I was like, oh, I feel like I didn't actually do that much for that. But yeah, to be honest, I'm not that bothered because what I have, it's concise and it does go with what I ended up going with. I actually changed this, so at the moment it says displaying human emotion through film and close-ups. I ended up taking out the displaying, wait, what did I actually do? Okay, so it looks like I didn't actually change my title. I could have sworn that I did, what the heck. But I write in my statement of intent, my chosen theme is close-up category, which I have decided to fuse with film and looking at close-up emotion through camera, because I'm very interested in how the invention of the camera shows how things can be cut out of the composition slightly and still make sense. I decided that this would be the best theme for me to take forward in the exam, because I will be allowed to get up close and personal in labelling me to capture details and really dive deeper into human emotion. So I guess this project was very much inspired by composition of film. Like I said, from the statement of intent, it said the camera being invented kind of allowed us to see that you can cut subjects out of frame and it still makes sense, which is not entirely what I did, but I really enjoyed how the composition makes sense. So see, my exam is not what I wanted it to be. I don't like the exam very much, but I'm just showing you because it did get me an A, bearing in mind this is only 25%, so the coursework that I showed you got more marks. That was 75%, whereas this was only 25. So here is the mood board that we did. I did obviously close-up, so I did that metaphorical and physical. So you can see here, 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 they're all physical close-up. And then metaphorically close-up I did with this hand, the two hands grasping at each other. Down here, I don't know why it got cut off, but there was two people embracing each other. And then hands, I love the way, I don't think I actually wrote about this until later on, but the way you talk with your hands, and I like the way that you can convey emotions through that. So I do have a lot of pictures of hands on here, and I love drawing hands. I love drawing hands anyway. So this entire project is focused around mainly portraiture and hands, but my final pieces were on hands. So I did my project plan, which is very, very important. You need to do a project plan. And then I did a brief history of film, just because obviously I'm talking about composition of film. See, this is what I was on about the invention of the camera. Sorry, let me zoom in so you can actually see. The invention of the camera being able to, that teaches us that we can cut things off and it still makes sense. So you can see that this is a little boy holding a larger man's hand, even though you can't see the larger man. So it enables us to be able to see the whole picture without actually seeing the whole picture, if that makes sense. Whereas in older paintings, you would have seen the man and the child. Whereas now you only see the child. This is my first artist research and artist study that I did. She's called Victoria Sokosyan. I found her on Pinterest. I absolutely love her. She was born in Moscow. And her paintings are, they're so full of texture, and I like the perspective and the framing that she uses, especially in this one. Like it's literally just a woman's face. It's very much heavily inspired by film, and especially the colour and the compositions, which you see in a lot of modern artists today. But I really like this. This one is one of my favourite pieces as well, because it's like a frame within a frame. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this researching, sorry. I don't remember if I actually did a copy. I don't think I did, no. I did take some stylistic choices from her. So here she uses glitter, and here she uses glitter, and here. So these three she uses glitter in, and that's what I used on my final piece as well, because I liked how it caught the light and created an extra highlight that you wouldn't see from every angle. Then I did Caravaggio, because obviously Martin Scorsese, Caravaggio, film and media, there's a hair on the book, sorry. It goes very, very well. So I did him. Obviously, I mean, you can't do an art project about film and close up and human emotion, which is literally all of them, without putting Caravaggio in. He is like the artist, okay? There's Van Gogh, and then there's Caravaggio. He uses colour, he uses texture, he uses composition, he uses narratives. Everything in his art is, I don't even know how to describe it, it's just magnificent. He has to be one of my favourite artists. So I did my, what's it called, arts research. I did Super Amuse painting analysis, which I actually did because in my contextual book in year 1 I did a analysis of that, and I thought I would just like not copy and paste it, but I rewrote it of ease of time because we only had a couple of months to do this and I was really running low. Also, always put your links in. I didn't put my links in that page, what an idiot. But always put your links in. Helps you get marks when they were able to reference the sources that you also referenced. Okay, and of course, Mr. Martin Charles Scorsese. He had to be on there, as he is heavily inspired by Caravaggio. Also, you can see his use of framing. This is rule of thirds. Can't remember what this one's called. But you can see his use of framing, how not everything is in the frame, but you can still understand what's going on. I think that's from a scene, I can't remember, is it Taxi Driver or Goodfellas? I can't remember what film that's from, but it's magnific. I love his style, his composition, his films are everything. We need to talk about Kevin. I did this film because of the use of colour and also close-ups, because it's very compositionally, very compositionally pleasing, I guess. Also the lady in it played the Supreme Sorcerer and I really like that. But she's really good, this film. Is it by how do you say that? Oh, Lynn Ramsey. I really like her work. Well, this work, I haven't really seen any of her other work, but I would definitely, if I heard of a film and it was by her, I'd probably definitely watch it, because look at those close-ups. They're gorgeous. You don't look at that and say, I'm not sure about that, don't want to watch that. It's so pretty. And then, oh, my photo shoot plan. I started doing photo shoot plans before every photo shoot. I didn't do that in first year, which, sorry, I regretted. But I think this is where some of my marks came from as well, because I did more writing in, I think I did more writing in this book, but it was definitely more neatly laid out, which I liked. So this is my photo shoot one. Got most of these are just pictures from the pub. This lady's actually an estate agent now. I did not see that coming. I got some of the hands. That's my friend while she was working in lesson. Some more hands, just people at the pub fucking about, really. I liked that. It just looked aesthetically pleasing at the moment. My friend's working. My friend working my granddad's hand. This is what the next couple of paintings are based off of, not the candles. The candles are a bit... They're nice pictures, but I don't know why I have 5 of them. They're not all the same, by the way. Need to put that out there, they're not all the same. They are all 5 separate pictures, but these, I really liked the composition of them, especially with the way that the light was coming through the window and making this really like hyper bright and all of this really hyper dark. I love the contrast between it. And then we got told to print out pictures that were the best ones of the photo shoot, so I printed them out professionally. I got them off of free prints, which is basically where you only have to pay for the shipping, so it's really good. And I got 2 more here, ones that I really liked. Photo shoot analysis. I went ham on this photo shoot about what I liked, I didn't like, where I took it. I really went ham on that one. Statement of intent. I think this is just basically explaining what I'm doing in my project, what I've done so far, and my plan. Okay, so this is going to be a bit hard to show, but I'm going to try my best. So I'm just going to flip her upside down. There we are. So these are little booklets that we did. I took them out of the Concertina book. So I did basically studies of hands and faces, because it felt like a while since I'd actually done that. So this is my first hand study. This is my friend's hand from the photo shoot. Then I did like a build up. So I did the bones, then I did the muscles. Then I did some anatomy from the outside. A lot of these were taken from Pinterest. I will say that. This is, oh, I love this size so much. I don't know how to say it, Albert's drawer, but I did an artist copy of him, and it's really good. I didn't do much writing about him though. I do wish I did, but I like it a lot. And then is there any on this side? Yes, there is some on this side. So we've got these. These are taken from a book called Drawing a Complete Guide by Giovanni Ciffardi, I think that's how you say it. That's what you're getting anyway. So we've got some thumbs, and then some lovely... I really like this one. This one's my favourite, I think. And then on the back, those are the ones on the back. Oh no, that came undone. Oh, I really like these ones. They are very aesthetically pleasing to me. Human face studies, just because I wanted to include it in my thingy. Where are we here? Okay, so this is like the inside of it. So this is just like the cover that I did. I really liked that one. And this is just like the inside. I did some like basic sketches up here, then eyes, because eyes are really important. Eyes are the lid of the soul. Side profile, front profile of like a basic man. Depending on what race you're drawing actually as well, features are very different, so they have different face charts. This is just like a basic white man, so that doesn't apply to everything. Yeah. Ears. I really enjoyed doing the ears. I don't know why, they're just so curvy. I love them. Their front view looks kind of weird. It doesn't look like an ear, but you can tell from the context. This one I like doing because, like I said earlier, I love drawing old people. This was like a baby, but I couldn't figure out how to do the second eye, so I just left it. Nostrils and my nose. So yeah, the back of this, I really hate the back of this. I'm sorry, what the heck is that? Sorry Holly, did you dirty? Yeah. Anyway, next page. Right, this is a pencil sketch that I did of my mum. She was like looking at a recipe, I think, and I don't know, I snapped a couple of pictures of her and I really, really like this drawing that I did of it. It looks really detailed. Just a minute to appreciate that, I'm sorry. But yeah, I was really, really proud of that one. This is a pencil drawing, coloured pencil drawing, sorry. I used grid for it. I didn't like it. Overall, I don't really like this piece. I don't like it. It's the pencil crayons that I was trying to use with the really scrappy like kids pencil crayons, so it didn't really work. Also, I didn't have all the colours that I needed, so I just used like different ones. Didn't really work. I hate it. This one, I'm a bit 50-50 on it. This is what I took from Victoria Suckershon. I said it somewhere here. Adapting one of Victoria Suckershon's techniques where she uses glitter on the highlights rather than painting them because they catch the light more. So this rim and here are glitter rather than just painted highlights. This, I was trying to make it look blurry, but it didn't really work. It looks kind of random, but I'm okay with that. And then this, I just thought it was really interesting because a couple of years ago my mum broke both of her wrists and the doctors like fucked up the operation that they were supposed to do. And now her hand is like, it doesn't look like a normal hand. It's like dislocated in some way. So I just thought that'd be really interesting to draw. Alright, so another photo shoot that I did. I didn't actually do a photo shoot plan for this one because it was really just sporadic. It was just like the light in it was really nice, and I was just studying at my desk for geography. I was just like, wow, the light looks gorgeous right now, so I'm just gonna take cool pictures. So that's this. I did write about that here, about how it was just sporadic. This is me trying out chalk. I didn't enjoy it. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's really not good. I don't like it. But yeah. And then I did more on there, but I kind of like it, but I hairsprayed it and it just went away. I had to draw it back on and then hairspray it and draw it back on and then hairspray it because it just kept going away when I hairsprayed it. It was really bad. And then I did handwritten responses for this. Same with this, experimenting with chalk pens because I got some. So these are the pens that I used. Obviously you can see that those colours are not all in here. That's because I mixed them. So I did the pink on white, pink on orange. Yeah, I did all the colours on white first. You can see that here apart from the hair here and these. So I did most of these on white first before I did it on the paper. This one I did just straight up white. I don't like it, but this hand I quite like, and this, it's not bad, I guess. Oh, I spelled large wrong. Because I didn't really have a law. That's great, but I was talking about the large range of, the short range of colours that I had. So having to mix them and all that, so yeah, didn't really like those very well. Victoria Maliar, really, really like their work. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, so, oh, it's a her, okay. I really, really like her work. It's suggestive rather than telling. It's not telling, it's suggestive. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, which is kind of what I was going for with the composition thing. So I really liked how, because of the gaps, it leaves it to the brain to fill in. So I did an artist copy. I didn't have all the colours, so it is a little bit off, but I still like it, yeah. Oil colour. This is where I did oil painting again, and I actually like this one. Surprise! There is a total of 2 oil paintings that I've ever done that I actually like. So this is an oil painting of the hand. It was taken from that photo shoot that I did earlier, the sporadic one. And I did spend an unwilling amount of time on this, and I was running out of time, and I was like, I need to finish it. And there's still stuff wrong with it. Like this pinky looks just like a worm. It doesn't look complete. And that's because it's not, because I got to that finger, because I was doing it in this order, and then I got to that finger and I was like, oh, I have no more time left. So I did the analysis. It is mentioned in there. And then I did another photo shoot. So obviously photo shoot plan. This is photo shoot. I use my art teacher's hands for this because, like I said earlier, I like drawing wrinkles and like old textures. he actually was very happy that I asked him, because he was like, I don't have pretty hands, and I was like, it's okay, I don't want pretty hands, your hands are pretty for what I need. And he went, oh thanks. So we went into the studio and took some pictures of his hands, and I really like how they came out. And I did this just on my phone, not even on the big camera, so that's really cool. These ones are probably my favourite for texture, but they're really hard to draw. Like, I didn't have enough time to draw those, but this one is my favourite for composition. I love it. And this one actually as well. And the photo shoot response. Edited photos. So I did edit a couple of them. This one I played around with the saturation and the, contrast, and basically went at it on Photoshop. And then wrote about that. This was one from my mum's photo shoot, and then these two from the photo shoot, did black and white. You can see earlier on in the book that I liked doing the black and white work, so that's why I did this one to black and white. And then I did a look to black and white. I love black and white art. I think it's just so beautiful in its own way. And then I did a little practice of finding light and dark in pictures, because I knew that I wanted to dive deeper into the black and white. So I did some light and dark finding. This also takes back and links back to this book where I did the, where has it gone? This, where I did the chiaroscuro paintings, where I found light and then midtones then dark. Apart from here for the midtones, I didn't use any pencil. I just went in straight with cross hatching. And this one's my favourite one, I think. That one's quite good, but you can't really tell what it is. I like that one. Actually, I like them all, but that one's my favourite. A summary of everything that I've done now, like an update on the project plan. This is where I shortened my title, because I went, first of all, I would like to narrow down the phrase human emotion. What I want to create is a connection between the artist and viewer, or having an understanding of each other. Earlier in my project, I studied Victoria Sukushan, who often uses a somewhat tactile approach to art with the glitter and thick layers of paint. So I go on to describe like what I want to cut down and all that. I also wanted, another part of the title that I would like to expand on is film. I've decided that instead of taking this word literally, I want to use it for its compositions and storytelling aspect, which I did obviously do. Then I did another artist copy. No, that wasn't an artist copy. I just did the what I tried to do an in the style of, but it didn't really work the same, because Justin Gaffrey, or Gaffrey Justin, he has his own paint brand that he uses, and it's really super thick. It's like the thickest, like it's 100% acrylic. It's the thickest paint that you can ever buy. Yeah, here, made of 100% acrylic. And mine that I'm using is, it's a good company, don't get me wrong, but it's just not 100% acrylic paint, and there's no way of finding out, like it doesn't say on the label anywhere this is how much percentage of acrylic is in it. So you've got no guarantee really when it comes to stuff like that it's going to be durable enough to create the textures and layers that Gaffrey's paintings do. So mine is very flat compared to what I want it to be, because I wanted to make the background flat obviously, and then as the highlights build it up I wanted to put more and more thick layers of paints, and that didn't end up happening. And I put my progress pictures here because I was proud of the sketch. And then I did the palette. I'm not actually sure. Oh yeah, the palette, the piece. So they actually put, when they were marking it, they put it in the wrong section. So I did the palette, the piece here. I've seen like the videos on like Instagram and TikTok and all that where they say, oh, the palette versus the piece, and I wanted to do that in my book. So I annotated the palette, what I used as the palette, which was like an old Chinese takeaway container. And then like I liked showing the layers of paint, but they've started sticking together, so I had to stick this over it to stuff it. And then the piece is from Photoshop, and I wanted to make it kind of multicolored. I don't really know why. I just wanted to dive back into that after doing the black and white, but I still preferred the black and white after this, and I think I wrote about that. Oh yeah, because I did 2 attempts. I painted over this one, so this one is the final obviously, and then this one is like underneath here. I painted over it, so then here is just like me explaining everything. Quick pencil drawing with glitter, because I wanted to test how the glitter, I found some glitter glue. Let me find it. Found this glitter glue at the range, and I wanted to just test how that would go on top of like different mediums. So I did pencil, and I did also the pencil with the, what's it called, marker, but it did smudge, so I couldn't use the marker, so I had to just do it in pencil. Photo shoot plan, because this is a photo shoot that I'll be using in my exam. It's my brother and a bit of my mum, but there's only 3 of my mum and then the rest of my brother. So this is one that I used in the exam. I did a few with flash on and then flash off because of the time of day. I didn't want them all to like turn out like this. And I can't remember which one it was, one of these in the exam as well. And then I edited the ones that I wanted in the exam to make them black and white and up the contrast and all that fun stuff. And here is photo shoot and edited photos analysis. Then this is just a practice round for the actual exam. So I put in the glitter on the highlights, like the veins that stuck out, and down here on the main highlights. And then that is the end of the exam book, and then we go into the actual exam. I did this one first. Oh, I like this angle, you can really see all the glitter on it. Here's it without the shine. I don't like it so much with the shine on, sorry, without the shine on, because it just looks like he's got like smallpox or something. But with the glitter on, you can see that it's a highlight and it's supposed to be there. But yeah, I quite like it. It's not the best that I could do. I know that I could do better. This thumb looks a bit stubby. Sorry, my nails. But this thumb looks a bit stubby to what the actual picture looks like. Same with this one. My brother called them penis thumbs. They kind of do look like that. Also, the shirt around here looks a bit papery rather than fabricy, which it doesn't look like on the picture. And up here I'm missing a bit of shading, and also up here I think I just forgot about that. But also the arm hair, it is supposed to be really thick arm hair because he does have really thick arm hair, but it feels like I should have loosened it out because it just looks like I mean, you can tell that I've put arm hair there, but it doesn't like translate to the amount that's on his actual arm, so I would take that off if I was to do it again. And then the next one that I did was this one. This one I don't like because you can see all of the scratching on there, and I know that I did a cross-hatching style, but for me I wanted this to be smooth and I didn't. This actually took a whole of a 14B. I don't know if I have it here, if it's at college. It is at college, but it's a 14B pencil, so it's really, really dark. It's also it's not supposed to be as shiny, but it definitely is. But yeah, there's less glitter on this one. As you can see, it's here, because there's less of a highlight, whereas this one is more bright. This one is definitely more dark because it didn't have the flash on it. But this one I like. I think I prefer this one because of its darkness. And also here, the fabric looks like fabric rather than papery. There's also less arm hair. Yeah, I just like this one better, okay? And these are the ones that I got told to do because I had 2 hours left of the 15-hour exam. So I did these ones just to pass by the time. This actually took me 2 hours to do. It was crazy. It was insane how long it took me to do. But they're just cross-hatched. This, I know I said on the last one the thumbs were too short and stubby. This thumb is too long. I mean, what the fuck? I wish I could put glitter glue on this one though, but I can't because it's like not waterproof, which kind of annoyed me, but yeah, it's cool. But I did the cross-hatching the whole way through for this. And you know, I quite like them. You can see the perspective, I guess. You can see what they are, but they're not as nice as these ones. These are like you can tell that those are my final pieces, but these, I don't like them as much. So that's like my A-level fine art experience. I really enjoyed doing the whole course. I definitely think I could have done a lot better. I think I was putting too much effort into my geography. I think if I didn't put as much effort into there, I could have done a lot better than what I did now. But my favourite bit was, like I said, the Space, Place and Environment booklet, and then also, sorry, I keep knocking the bloody tripod. And then I do really like the final pieces, which I think are also my favourite. But yeah, tomorrow I need to go in and get my book 1 of the coursework book because I left that there, so that's going to be different footage. Sorry about that. Highly recommend fine art as a subject. unless obviously you're not interested in it, but if you're not interested in it, why are you here? I think it's a great subject to accompany other art subjects, so like photography or graphic design. I did it with graphic design, textiles maybe even, but it really, like, because you work with not just fine art materials, you also work with other more craft and media materials. So I think if you want to get like a basis on loads of different things, fine art would be the one for you. It's definitely a lot more strict in the way that it's not as much about experimentation and more about refining your work and explaining it. Whereas if you were to take a craft course, which they're actually doing at my college now, it's more about the experimentation rather than it is the final refined piece. But I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I like the final refined piece. But I'm actually not going into fine art. I want to go into graphic design, or graphic design media, graphic design and advertising or marketing. I think that's just better for me. I can see myself working in that, whereas fine art, the only thing that I'd do with that is become a fine art teacher. I'm not really sure what else I'd do with it, even though I do enjoy it more. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, thank you for watching, everybody.